Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the Steelers as they gear up for the upcoming season, you know that every move they make in the offseason carries huge weight. And this year, the team has been particularly active, especially in the last few days, when they made some strategic additions to their roster. It's not just about filling spots, it's about positioning themselves for a serious push in 2024. So, let's dive deep into what's happening, what these moves mean, and how they could impact the Steelers' chances of making a deep playoff run. Recently, the Steelers announced they signed 2 new players ahead of their Week 1 preseason matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right, 2 guys who could very well have a significant role as the season gets underway. First, we have quarterback Logan Woodside, a name that might not be new to many NFL fans, especially those who follow the preseason battles closely. Woodside was originally drafted in the 7th round of the 2018 NFL Draft by the Cincinnati Bengals. That's a late pick, but don't overlook the potential here. Over the years, Woodside has spent time with the Tennessee Titans during 2020 and 2021, and most recently, he was with the Atlanta Falcons in 2022 and 2023. His experience is quite valuable, especially for a team like the Steelers that values depth and readiness at the quarterback position. Now, what makes Woodside interesting is his extensive preseason experience. While he's never attempted a pass in the regular season, just 13 games, and no passes attempted, he's played a lot in the preseason, demonstrating game readiness and leadership in those moments. He's rushed for 10 yards on 14 attempts, so he can move around if needed, and that can be useful in certain schemes. Though he's yet to have a real shot in the regular season, his familiarity with different NFL offenses makes him a versatile option as a backup or even a potential emergency starter if circumstances demand it. But the other signing, and perhaps the more impactful one in terms of line stability, is offensive lineman Andrus Peat. Now, Peat's name carries a lot of weight because of his extensive NFL experience, more than 100 games started, including 3 Pro Bowl selections from 2018 to 2020. He was drafted 13th overall by the New Orleans Saints in 2015, and he spent 9 seasons with them before moving on last season. Peat is a versatile offensive lineman, having played both left guard and left tackle, which gives the Steelers a lot of flexibility on the line. This is crucial because the Steelers' offensive line has been a topic of discussion throughout the offseason. Injuries, inconsistencies, and the need for veteran leadership have made this a priority. Peat's experience is exactly what the team needs, someone who can step in and stabilize the line, especially at guard, which is where he's been mostly deployed. Last season, he played 34 snaps at guard and 11 at tackle for the Raiders. His ability to move outside if necessary adds a layer of insurance, and given that the Steelers have 7 guards on their roster, including Peat, it's clear they're building depth and competition along that front. In terms of roster management, the Steelers made room for these 2 new players by waiving long snapper Tucker Addington and guard Nick Broker. That's a pretty standard move, restructuring to get the right talent in place. And it's worth noting that the team is not just collecting bodies, they're adding players who bring specific skills and experience that align with their goals for this season. Now, you might be wondering, why these particular signings right now? Well, it's partly due to recent injuries. Just 2 days before these signings, rookie quarterback Will Howard suffered a hand injury. That's a setback, but the coaching staff, led by head coach Mike Tomlin, remains optimistic about Howard's recovery and even his potential participation in the final preseason game. However, for Saturday's game against the Jaguars, Howard won't be available. That's where Woodside's experience in the preseason and his familiarity with NFL defenses become even more critical. And as Steelers insider Mark Kaboly reported, with Aaron Rodgers and several other starters sitting out the game, players like Skylar Thompson and Logan Woodside are expected to see significant playing time. This is a strategic move by the Steelers, giving these guys a real opportunity to showcase their skills and earn a spot on the roster, especially with the regular season looming. Woodside, having spent the offseason with the Bengals and last appearing in an NFL game for the Falcons earlier this year, is hungry to prove himself. Although he's never thrown a pass in the regular season, his preseason work and experience in various NFL offenses give him a solid foundation. The team likely sees him as a reliable backup who can step in if needed, especially considering the uncertainty at the quarterback position after the departure of veterans like Mitch Trubisky and the ongoing development of Kenny Pickett. Let's not forget that the Steelers' quarterback situation is quite interesting this year. Kenny Pickett is entering his second season, and expectations are high for him to continue his development and take the next step as a franchise quarterback. But behind him, there's always a need for capable backups, especially in the preseason when injuries and evaluations are critical. Woodside's familiarity with NFL schemes, his preseason experience, and his mobility make him an intriguing option. Plus, with the Steelers' offensive scheme emphasizing a balanced attack, having a quarterback who can run if necessary adds an extra layer of unpredictability for defenses. On the other side, Pete's addition to the offensive line is equally significant. The Steelers have been working hard to improve their protection schemes, especially in the wake of last season's struggles. Having a veteran like Pete, who's been a three-time Pro Bowler, certainly raises the floor of their offensive line. His versatility means he can fill multiple roles, which is invaluable in a league where injuries are inevitable. For the Steelers, who are known for their physical style of play and strong offensive line play in the past, adding a player of Pete's caliber could be the difference maker in both run blocking and pass protection. This move also signals the Steelers' aggressive approach in roster building. They're not just filling spots, they're trying to build a team that can compete at the highest level, both on offense and defense. With the addition of these two players, they're sending a message that they're serious about depth and competition. The team has made it clear that they're looking to maximize their talent, especially on the offensive front, which has historically been a cornerstone of their success. Looking ahead, all eyes will be on how these signings integrate into the team's overall game plan. Will Woodside get meaningful snaps in the preseason finale? Will Pete slot in as a starting guard early in the season, or will he serve as a veteran insurance policy? These are questions fans are eager to see answered. But one thing is certain. The Steelers are making strategic moves to strengthen their roster, and their focus on experienced players indicates they're serious about contending for another Super Bowl run. The AFC North is as competitive as ever. The Ravens, Bengals, and Browns are all loaded with talent, and the Steelers know they need to be at their best. These moves could be part of a larger plan to tighten their game, improve depth, and ensure they're ready for the grind of the regular season and playoffs. Pittsburgh fans have every reason to feel excited. This team has a solid core, and with the right additions, they can certainly make some serious noise in 2024. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on these recent signings? Do you believe Woodside can be a reliable backup or even surprise us as a potential starter if needed? And what about Pete? Do you see him as the key to stabilizing the offensive line? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, this is a team built on passion, resilience, and a never-give-up attitude, and these new players are just the latest chapter in that ongoing story. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see how this season unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Steelers.